Hey there, drawing students. It's time for drawing class for lesson 2. In this particular lesson, we're going to learn how to do photorealism. Here's an example of photorealism by an artist named Chuck Close. This is not a photograph. This is a very, very real painting that he did. How he did it was through a system called a grid drawing. Chuck Close was a famous artist in the 1960s and 1970s. He even did some of his work up through the 80s. What he would do is he would make a grid on the photograph and then enlarge it on a larger canvas. We're just going to do ours twice the size of the photograph. We're going to pick one that's about 5 by 7. On the photograph, we're going to make 1/2 inch marks on the top, like this. We're going to make them all the way across the top. We're going to make them all the way across the bottom, starting at the same side. If you start at a different side and there's a little bit left over, it'll be opposite, so it won't work. So since I started these marks on the left, I'm going to start the marks on the bottom from the left too. Again, these are 1/2 inch marks. Ends up looking like this. Then I'm going to turn the paper and make the 1/2 inch marks across the sides. Again, I'm going to start on the same place on each side to make sure that we don't have a mess up at the end. So I'm going to start from my left on the side of the photograph, making the 1/4 inch marks. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side, but I have to start at the same side that I did regarding left and right, so the lines will match up. So I'm going to start on the left side here. After I draw these marks, I'm going to make lines across connecting them, and that's how we get our grid. You really have to make the lines along all 4 edges of the photograph. If you don't, then it's impossible to get them straight. For example, if you would just draw lines on this side and nothing here, how would you know it would line up straight? It would not. We'll do just a few here to show you that on both sides, and then we'll move on to the larger paper. So when I complete this, it'll be like a checkerboard, like boxes. I'm going to do the same thing on my large paper. Now this is about 5 by 7. So twice that is 10 by 14. So I'm going to take my ruler on one edge and make little marks that are 10 inches over from the side, like this. And I'm going to connect them. And from the top, we're going to make it 14 down. We're going to make more than one mark to make sure that we get it straight. So we're going to make several marks that are 14 inches down, like this. And then we're going to connect them. Our grid on the larger paper is going to be a 1-inch grid. It's going to be twice the size of the smaller paper because we're going to explode the drawing and make it bigger. Therefore, we're going to draw 1-inch marks across the top, following the same system. We're going to put 1-inch marks across the bottom. And the same thing on the sides, just like we did on this photograph, except being 1/2 inch, they are 1 inch, and connect to get a grid. This is the first part of doing the grid drawing. After you complete this step, I'll show you the next. Thanks.